We got an outbreak. Okay, not really an outbreak, but 2 cruise ships have reported to the CDC that they got sickness. We also have a popular land-based casino making a partnership with a popular cruise line. And well, there's like 1,900 cruise passengers that just got booted, kicked off a cruise ship. And the cruise wasn't even close to over. Cruise news and my views. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to La Lita Loga. I am your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news and views for your face. For your face on Sunday the 28th. The 28th of April, 2024. And it's my beautiful daughter, Danielle's birthday. She's on a cruise right now, living that cruise life, making her way back to Florida. And she probably won't see this, but happy birthday, Danielle. Love you. It's her 30th birthday. My kids are getting old. I got no grandkids yet. It's going to happen, I think. But yeah, happy birthday to the sweet Danielle. But birthdays aside, let's talk about this cruise news. We had 2 cruise ships in April report to the CDC that there was norovirus on board. The reason it's of note is because there's a particular threshold, a percentage that require cruise ships to report to the CDC. And when I tell you what these numbers are, you're going to be like, well, what's the hubbub, bub? That's not that many passengers. But I guess, the reason that they have the threshold where they do is so that they can zone in, target in, lock on to these cruise ships to make sure that their procedures are good for sanitation. The first cruise ship I want to talk about, Sapphire Princess, reported that during its April the 5th cruise that 94 of the 2,532 guests on board that ship got sick. And then Royal Caribbean's Radiance of the Seas, their cruise that ended on April the 22nd, 67 of its 1,993 guests reported having gastrointestinal illness. And again, these numbers, while not high, were enough to trigger the CDC. They're checking it out. Shout out Ludacris. It's important. It's important. And I bring these stories up just to remind everybody to wash your hands. A lot of this gastrointestinal illness could be prevented by just good hygiene. Wash your hands before you eat. Wash your hands after you go to the bathroom. Try not to stick your hands in your mouth and your nose and your eyes. All that. Look, it's part of cruising. Dirty hands are part of cruising. Gastrointestinal illness is part of life. And the CDC continues to haunt us. Gosh, do you remember when every CDC story was this polarizing thing? But yeah. CDC, gastrointestinal illness, that's your cruise news story number 1. Cruise news story number 2, we just talked about the Radiance of the Seas. There's another Radiance class cruise ship for Royal Caribbean getting refurbed. It's an important story. The Jewel of the Seas is undergoing dry dock in Brest, France. They're getting some technical upgrades. They're getting the once over. This cruise ship is part of the Radiance class. It's about 20 years old. And when cruise ships get to be 20 years old, it's important to make sure that everything is working properly. And sometimes cruise ships that are 20 years old in the Radiance class break down completely. We're getting to the end story, which is about the Radiance. But so yeah, Jewel of the Seas, sister ship of the Radiance in France, getting dry docked, getting enhanced, hopefully to keep it running well. It will return to service on May the 15th. Cruise news story number 3, Margaritaville at Sea, the little cruise line that could, has a new cruise ship coming out that's going to sell from Tampa. It's going to sell from Tampa. It's called the Islander of the Seas. And you know the way that Margaritaville at Sea does it. They purchase an older cruise ship, they refurbish it, they get it ready to go again. And this time they purchased the Costa Atlantica. This is a cruise ship that came into service 1999, 2000, party over. It's out of time. This cruise ship was completed back in the 1900s. Margaritaville purchased this cruise ship. They've sent it off for refurbishment, and now they've reached a major milestone. They've had sea trials, which is interesting because you never really think about sea trials after the original sea trials, but I'm assuming since it's been purchased and refurbed and all that, they're going through the whole deal. The refurb's happening over in Belfast in Northern Ireland. The sea trial's happening in the Irish Sea. And I did see a copy of the inspection report. It was signed off by Lucky, and it said the ship was seaworthy and it was also magically delicious. Magically delicious. I know a lot of people that are going to go on the Islander at Sea when it comes to Tampa in June. It's only 45 minutes from the house. Maybe I got to go down there. I don't know. But yeah, are you excited about this new Margaritaville at Sea cruise ship? Are you going to give it a shot? Leave a comment below. Cruise news story number 4, and I bet that some of you will find this next cruise news story very exciting. We're talking about a partnership between Hard Rock International, Seminole Gaming, and the Royal Caribbean groups. We're talking about Royal Caribbean International and Celebrity Cruises. They've announced a global partnership that will benefit both guests and team members at sea and on land. It's an exciting combination of reward and loyalty benefits. You got the Hard Rock Casino Unity benefits being combined with Royal Caribbean's Club Royale benefits, Celebrity Cruises Blue Chip Club benefits, and all of those will combine into one big benefit soup so that when you game on land at Hard Rock properties, that will benefit you on the cruise ship, and when you game on the cruise ship, it will benefit you at Hard Rock. It's very exciting. It's going to be interesting to see how these programs layer together. I haven't seen the official, matrix for what translates where. The big question in my mind is, does a partnership like this, would it sway you to try Royal Caribbean opposed to your favorite cruise brand? Is this enticing? Yeah, let me know what you think about that. I tell you what, the main story today just makes me think of another Ludacris classic, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. Dirty deeds done dirt cheap. But close to 2,000 passengers getting booted off of a cruise mid-cruise is a dirty deed. That's exactly what's happening. We got people getting off a cruise ship today. I'm going to tell you all about it, but first let me quickly invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything going on in cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. Thank you in advance. Well, I told you, the Radiance of the Seas, not only did they have that little norovirus thing going on, but they've been having trouble with their propulsion system. They had to cancel a bunch of ports of call on their cruise as they were making their way from LA to Vancouver in British Columbia. They got to Vancouver and they loaded up cruise passengers for a cruise to Alaska. They did that 2 days ago on Friday. And they said, well, we're still having trouble with the engine. Let's do this. You guys come on the cruise ship, and once you get on the cruise ship, you can't get off because of Canadian immigration laws. So embark on your normal time on the cruise ship on Friday. We're going to keep turning the wrenches down in the engine room. We're going to keep turning the wrenches, and then on Sunday, we'll head up to Alaska, and we'll do a little shortened deal. Go to Icy Strait Point. We'll cruise the Inside Passage. We'll go to Ketchikan. We'll go over to Creek Street. Well, that was the story on Friday, but about 24 hours ago on Saturday, people got notified on that cruise ship to get off. Get off the cruise ship, that your cruise has been canceled. So like less than 48 hours on the cruise ship, passengers notified that they have to leave. They have to leave the cruise ship. Canceled after the cruise has begun. They're going to get compensated. They're getting a 100% refund of what they paid for this cruise. They're getting a 100% future cruise credit. They've been given free internet for the time that they're on the cruise so that they can make travel arrangements. They're going to get reimbursed for travel change fees, like if they move their air flight to a sooner date because they got kicked off the cruise ship. And probably the biggest benefit for people that can take advantage of it is an open bar. That's right. The bars have been wide open for the last day on the Radiance of the Seas. So hopefully people are using the internet for free and taking advantage of that open bar. Could you imagine if you made a big effort to get to Vancouver and you're only there for 2 days and you can't leave the cruise ship, and now you have to leave the cruise ship and figure out how to get home? Dirty deeds. Look, sometimes you can't help it. The ship breaks down. It's a tough one. What's better, being allowed on the cruise ship and then booted off just 48 hours later, or not being let on the cruise ship at all? I mean, you get a free bar. Do you think the compensation's fair? leave a comment below. Thanks so much for checking out the show today. Hope you're having an awesome Sunday. This is Tony for La Lido Loca. Until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.